as a whole offense, we really came together as a whole and really put it together to show him that we can do all these more complicated sets and to throw the defense off more and really put it all together.
Was there anyone in particular that wowed you today on your side of the ball?
All the running backs really stood out to me. The way that they have been running the ball this whole spring, and that all together, all of them have been really pushing it, and we always really appreciate that.
Well, and just speaking of the running backs, we talked to the linemen a lot about how things have changed for them in the running game. How have they changed for you?
I would agree. Like with same kind of with the O line, it's changed a lot. More kind of the technique that you use, I guess I would say. It's a lot more running, and then I guess the technique is what has changed the most.
Adam?
Yeah, Nick kind of stole my thunder there, but Justin, moving around more, how's that been for the tight end position?
Yeah,
like you said, y'all splitting out some and going in motions and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, we as a tight end group, we really love it. Kind of because it throws off the defense as a whole when you got two tight ends in there, especially, and you got one splitting out, you got one in line. It really messes with the defense, and it really opens up our offense a lot more, and it allows us to do a lot more with two tight ends in there, splitting us out, putting us both in the backfield, putting one on the line, putting one in the backfield. It kind of changes things up, which really opens up a lot.
Larry?
So the question then becomes, is this the year the tight ends are going to catch a lot of balls?
That's what we're hoping, especially with all this 12 personnel, that we're hoping that we're going to be getting involved a lot. We've been getting involved a lot with this offense, whether it's in the run game or in the pass game. We've been doing a lot.
So, I mean, when you say a lot, kind of give me an idea how that would compare maybe to the last 2 years.
I would say, especially coming from the NFL and watching all those NFL, like with Higbee and them at the Rams and how many balls they got, I would say compared to that, that's how it's kind of going to be, is we're going to be in the passing game a lot more, and it's going to be 50-50 run pass.
Thank you.
Nick?
You've been in a lot of spring practices here,
Yeah.
Probably more than one handful by now. But how does this one compare to the others?
It was a lot different just because the first 5 years that I was here was all the same offense. Besides the first year I was here learning the offense, but coming into a new offense, I didn't really know what to expect because I've been doing the same thing for the past 5 years. And as a whole offense, I mean, a lot more film, a lot more meetings with getting in our books, a lot more studying at home, making sure that you know the next day what you have to do, and especially with the different installs. And then when you go out to these scrimmages, you got to make sure that as a whole group that you're efficient so that the coach knows what you can and can't do.
Larry?
We've heard a lot today about Josh Pascal on the defensive side of the ball and how he's blowing things up. Is that the defensive guys exaggerating a little bit, or has he been that good?
No, he's definitely that good. I mean, if you look at the ball, Josh Pascal's always around it, whether it's 20 yards downfield, 5 yards in the backfield. He's always making plays, and he's always hustling after every play, and it seems like he never gets tired.
Thanks.
Adam? Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Justin, you've been here for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Since I think Coach Graham's first year. So you're seeing now two different coordinators kind of install their offense. I know that was a while ago when you were a lot younger. But how is the team, I guess, from that point to this point? Is it easier? Is it a bigger adjustment? Is the playbook harder to learn? Just how the two kind of installs compare?
I would say that coming into this offense, it's been a while since a lot of people on this offense have learned a new system. So I think going about it, with really studying the film that he came from the Rams and watching the Rams and what they do, and the concepts that they put in are some of them are the same, but there's a lot. The way that we call our plays and the way that we do things are a lot different. So I would say that's what the biggest difference was.
John Wong?
Justin, with everything that we've heard about Coach Liam coming in and his new offense, I think everybody's going to be disappointed if the team doesn't score 1,000 points the first time out. You're a pretty level-headed guy. Do we need to pump the brakes a little bit, or are you one that would advocate continue throwing fuel to the fire with the excitement?
I mean, especially with the new offense, I feel like there's always a lot of excitement, and I think that kind of fuels our fire because it really excites us. And with this new offense, there's a lot of fun that comes with it, and I feel like when we get out there for our first game, we're gonna have a lot of fun with it and a lot of showing how we can pass the ball and showing how we can still run the ball and really opening up our offense a lot. And I feel like putting up a lot of points would be a very exciting thing.
You mentioned the playbook. How difficult has that been for you to adjust to that? I know back a couple weeks ago there was some indication that some guys weren't picking it up well enough. How hard has that been for you?
I feel like at first when you see all these things getting thrown at you, that it kind of pauses you for a second and you're just kind of like, whoa, but you got to take the time to go, and you can't let the coaches tell you what to do. You got to go home and get in your playbook and watch the film from the previous practice and keep going over those installs by yourself whenever you get free time, just for 15 to 20 minutes. Just keep going over and over and over so that next practice that you know what you're doing. And then it's all about the repetition, I would say. And I feel like being here so long and constantly getting new plays thrown at you, like myself, the past 5 years, just constantly going over them in my head.
Lonnie?
We've been around for a while. Some of us, myself, and some of the rest of the guys, we've been around for a while. We have seen a lot of you all guys play, and we know what to expect to some degree. I know it's going to be better, but anyway, nonetheless, some of the guys we're familiar with. Talk about some guys that perhaps hasn't been talked about a lot, practice in and practice out, that we're not too familiar with. Talk about somebody that's really stuck out to you, has shown up to be someone we need to look for.
I would say offensively, especially in our receiving core, I notice Cleavon and Isaiah Epps, they're really stepping up. And then there are a lot of those younger guys like Chauncey's making plays out there, and they're really, all of our receivers are coming together, and all of our running backs are pushing each other. Chris, obviously, Smoke's really stepping up as that another back that's really sticking out to me.
I really was sort of talking about on the defense.
On the defensive side,
Yeah.
I would say that
We know about Pascal already, but
yeah, everybody's talking about Pascal.
that we don't know about.
I would say in our secondary, that's really sticking out to me is I see Taj in a lot of plays, and he's really flying around. I noticed that he's making very good improvements on the defense.
All right, Justin, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Okay.